You know, go kill them and say, "Pack, they will beat you." You know, can't boy, you say that. No, you know the work. So, part the thing you say that secret. Who don't say when say class time, who is classical? Who is classical? Because people that be there, when they want in there, the people the way they your habit, now who say no more hala the follow na did get. And this will unions are I know say this will next 5 years now bam follow the peace. Me from one win election, go to election 2019. Not also gentlemen. Yes, 20 days I did court for that same election. There's election over. We don't change 5 judges. Now we get to one justice. Original judge there. We go to Justice Bao. One ring election with the gold in the go court to court, judge to judge. One now this time here, make it help we let peace Canada. When she them married Gladys, so 10 million which I anybody willing to me small in Mutkano they go look the for kaya. We self na anybody will he get small link with New London, you know the look like. I say, this you don't go find. Before that, make me beer. I go more, I want to meeting, and then go tell me, say, me don't bring talk there for can't fetch now. They arrest me. They're going to tell me, the police session, the kind of crowd we see. Nice, Mr. Bar, go, not sit on a more, go, fit up. Go, because this is if you don't begin afraid, no problem, no happy, may they arrest me. Because problem be happy now, go, not for fire. So, I can't again me. I say, look, gentlemen, me almost can't force I sell them. I sell me too much can't you don't go. No one problem. Call somebody, they go talking about, they go settle out. Now that mean these streets are we don't team up. Do your part, make law get peace. The part of talk box, Honorable Musa Tarawali this so. That one day that strategies. Sabi this country better one. And you know who that is Sabi this country. Again, the benefit is a free euro. And today, that strike, you don't know. Yeah, the chase go ahead with development. We there behind you. We go. We there with you. This union, we go make sure say anything we want call upon we go do them. Go see the vice president bin do. He call chairman them. He say Mr. Bar, any district, the chairman them una go work with them. And we make sure say each district, any side you go, we they call the SLPP executive. I call the chairman where they we link them. Them supply give them motoka. The motoka them, then they take people there from one place. We don't do an Apoloko, we don't do Lunge, we do an Bokusai, Cambia, All the chairman that went all the DC, they all sabi me. We go put local, and what is it? Put down. Not to soldier 60 motocar, nobody not give 1 cent. Now we provide fear, now we bring them come. Kono, pa alpha, in Peking, this pa, na get that Peking with the Ukna Council, na Cambia. Now you want to, we take 23 vehicles from Jama Sewa Fed, all them surrounding areas, we bring them come. Now we all work that one day. I work out you right around this country. If you see I no go, I no say and we don't settle them. So HE not take time too much. This now God don't give you back. Do you have not forget we? Pakababi buy much for you know so gentlemen. We serve one make help free low get some side with the link. Machine. Then this iron project. Because this iron project, we're not part of them. But do you help the ministry and get mutuka them? Because if government get you mutuka, we have under a class stand, government don't pull mutuka then at it. So God, you know, do nothing because that's the only way that. We are under now we don't get certain people there. We then self get mutuka them, me and then they coordinate. As they make bam yonder the one park, I go tell her, do they call them telephone, they pull them mutuka then at it. So what the class yonder, you don't know. You know they work again. Now that make us say, what you mean they happy? You know go ever happy na here again, sir. Thank you very much. May God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. President with the small P. So now,
we executive non-plans one county now this year as we are national chief driver. Vice President is able to be the deputy national chief driver. And this no one on any side. Now Bombali will do inside my
all right, thank you very much. On that note, Lowell team up for the chief driver, national chief driver. Aha, Unalao Sidom, His Excellency the President.
Honorable Vice President, Chief Minister, all protocols observed, and we drivers them. Machine. Machine. I'm glad you for meeting at this time of the year, soon after election, and I'm glad you for receiving her because when they play an important role in this country, we will all recognize and acknowledge. For making a grab today, say when they can't congratulate me, I want for telling say I deeply appreciate that, and now that make within this time. The work we they do is so important that we will not stop for work for 1 minute. We don't know. As the president, I want for telling plenty thank you. I want for make una know say una matter in society and that we appreciate the work we they do. So now that make I take this occasion as a big occasion because una way they move una way they move the economy, una way they make things then they happen. Una come for can congratulate me after this election. And listening to the una president, it don't give assurances to we, the government and the people of this country, for say no ambogi no go day pan the transportation business. I want for assuring us say we self go do everything we go make una work easy and make una work profitable. Because transportation na a whole sector with so paramount. No economy no dey move na the world without transportation. Nothing no dey happen without transportation. So una occupy, una dey na a sector wey so important that we no go left una no more for make una dey fight for una self. We serve as government. All them things that we dey do, we dey try for get new and better roads, bridges. Now for make una work easier and make una work profitable, because now a lot of investment una dey do for make una work easy in that sector there. Where you get good road, the motorcar you dey take. You get very little for spend on spares, tires, and most other things there. If you sabi take care of engine, it go carry you go far. Now so you go take money, get money and profit. But if you get motorcar whole day, you dey change the shock absorber, you dey change the tire, you dey spend more on the motorcar, then wait till you get for care, go home for take care of the people there. So what you see with the it's very expensive for make roads there. Now millions of dollars, any one roadway they make, but it's necessary because we know say one, it make life easy for everybody, but we not within that sector, we not your direct life depend on them, we are not go able to live, and so many people they do, and we are plenty. So all the effort we make for get good roads then for link towns, cities, regions, now for make sure say we not make profit, we not able to contribute to the economic activities of this country. We not for transport people and goods and other things there, and help with other services. So for me, when I rub we back, we say we go rub on our back. We did different roads there. We don't finish some of the roads then. We get bridges then where we they try for construct. All we side them ferry then they. By the time we they left government, we know I mean no ferry in this country. All side forget bridges. We don't begin change them. The one at Seneon and Batru, the one at Manoa and Kailang, another one the north, Tompare, and then Bwajibo. We don't commission the one, then they make them. In less than 2 years, we will get more than bridges yonder. We go make, we forget about ferry then. The other side, we side the ferry then still there, mostly na the north. Carrying, I think, yes, carrying more. I think get a lot of bridges there. Then maybe Cambia. We they work on them one day for make sure say all of them turn to bridges then. Today, I see when I come, but I don't see women there. I don't see them talk. I see them. But when I don't make reference to them, I two women no more see. And when I don't say we did per gender policy, so we say woman there for the day, we say man then day. When I bring two women there, when I hide them behind there. And they catch yourself when I make us see them. Then a part of driver senior. When I for they make them talk. Okay. Now the big thing that they again, what would they do? We're not for the frown, we're not for the vex say woman they won't come before. God now in the woman they plenty in this country pass way. Now you know why make them plenty pass way. So that means say the same message to we for make if them plenty pass way, why would not for make them help with and the thing they would they do? We don't put on our head say they're not able to do plenty things they would they do. But it's not true. They're able to do plenty things there. Woman then sometimes they can drive past some man then also. But when I know they give them when I'm to when I heard the answer, but nobody they give. We say you know they give me woman driver. Yes. Then they're more careful. Now we can drive rough. In fact, now with one country where they buy motor for they use vehicle. Now for fair one way, them and me there, they don't they drive. Now new vehicle now you get. Although I used one, a new one. But that young boy, if they buy their motor car, like garage they go straight. So down the back now, see we will not self get for embrace. Talking about peace inside the union, I go left down the vice president and the chief minister. We dey talk about national cohesion and peace. We for make sure say it dey within the sectors that we would operate. Because you know, we all now one thing we want for Salone, make Salone go before. But one thing we will not forget, as we all want make Salone go before, some people then they will not believe in that. Always. Like the example where when a president talk about posting the where they under, it's safe, nothing no they do them, they eat, and they don't have fine place, you get everything. The crazy way I see now where it tell people they say when I go born, when I go kill this other person, when I go born them property then I me no know so that crazy they transfer from to then one then I we they grab. Some they go die in that process. Then lock them in a prison. Because we know they allow that one day. Everybody forgo about in business. People then defend the Lily and Natty for go feed their family. They said today, they not for come out. If you come out, they for wait yourself. Anytime where they talk that one day, we get law enforcement. Nobody not for touch you. You not to me they buy fear for you, not to me buy your motor car for you. Now they get your money for leave, for feed the family, for take care of them. Why somebody for sit down other side? Waiting bad for all of this. Now, when a big people then in this country they support that kind of policy, me na in the money. Now that one day, anytime I talk about the vex because I not get for hide that feeling. For say, you know they do and paying one. In fact, then they finance them for do that. And then people are supposed to be responsible members. They're supposed to be fathers to this nation. They're supposed for the help. If not for nothing, may no halala no day. Where halala no day, even the poorest man, he go able to go fend in Lydia and Natty and eat. At least may not go to bed in angry one. But where you make all man they hide, you will not go buy quick. That fair, you know they make investment the canaya. Investment no go come. Every 2-3 days, you see them put fire and they burn them. Like the last year, August 10, the way me feel, because it's like they make Yahweh look fine, so that the whole world go want them. The whole world go want Kanaya for can invest. They see somebody, then come under, then they can't throw away per my all kind of tip for me dirty. Me not go able give una all work. I'm not go able buy motorcar for una all. I'm not going to do everything. Wait, they limit the to which government they help una. But if peace day and waiting government can do, it do the roads there and other support systems then for una defend them for una self. Una no one can beg. Nobody no like for beg. But then if we get the opportunity, the conducive atmosphere for me go about in business. If you want for take loan, we for help for me get loan, for me get to you won't forget. But when you create that fear and tension, now you can make people they know they achieve their potential. So we they work for make sure say when I did together, no conflict, not for day, when I get when I own systems, how when I they elect, how when I they govern when I serve, when I get when I own constitution, not so. We own business now for make sure say when I keep to that. So I go left hand they give the vice president and the chief minister for me then go report to me later on say this court business if we're done by now. Why we they all of this? We give accolade to the government for which we don't do. Yes, for make development the any side, peace for the force. Where peace day, nobody, like I say, not to you glad you want for the go and pass and big, or go to this other one. Everybody want go fend for himself. We own business now for create that enabling environment. So the peace, we done the work very hard with all the security sector for make sure say everybody gets in own peace. And from where we come, we done the move up the ladder. Today, they say the whole of West Africa, the one the way they observe and the great country there, say Sierra Leone, now the most peaceful country in West Africa. We are the third most peaceful, now the whole of Africa, third most peaceful, now the whole of Africa. Why? Because you know the council no more. We self get for like we self. We as a government, plenty thing and they when can blame we. Because if we react the way we not expect we for react, it go make sure say peace not in there. Where you not daddy, you know what they do. Sometimes they person they do, you picking they do bad. You call them, you talk to them. Then they say, I elect this wire, or you know one for take action. But you look at the general, the bigger picture, and say, make you set your pada one day and make you not go to the full extent. But that one day where they make the whole country afraid. Now terrorism, we make huge number of people there, then they afraid for come out or do something. Now terrorism, now some people then deeper. And we don't see anybody who will catch pada one day, the full extent of the law will they go. So we want, especially the work when they do back, make when self join we pada one day. When they get plenty information, when I know plenty thing there. Are happy with the move by the president for pool the one day where they instill fear. But we for also stand up as a union. Let me one kid talk for Adebayo. Plenty people that afraid. And my woman. When I for talk. Now yeah we day. Now you who sign Sidoy under get everything. They get the protection. They tell when I picking there. It disturb in our life. As a union, national union, when I for talk, the height map talk. Against. Let the world know say not to win no more government because then go and reduce onto politics. But a person like that, we're not able to take care of himself. I tell and say, if you not say you know man can salon. But now people then send and people then they pay from here. That's not the most disturbing part of it. And these are people where God don't make them not team up before this country. And where they suppose whether at team up Naya or not team up Naya as president, where God bring me Kanaya, an older obligation to each and every one of them for protecting her till I die. Anything where they bring shame and bugging to this country, now obligation. That thing, the one that when a Muslim, that they hold the Bible, they hold the Quran, we they hold the Bible, not a small swear that one day. Some people can forget that if you say now just, then give you that book that you hold on. Say, I swear, say, I go do the best thing there for this country in the best interest and security. Me, I don't take and treat them, so I know they forget. I know they forget. I know say na big swear that one day. Now before God and man, nine I do them. And therefore, whether are they sleep, whether are they awake, whether I check, whether are they dream, everything now God now they give you that responsibility. And not to Almighty they give. We say you get 8 million people, you give you that responsibility, you for take hold on with your 2 hands. Now that's me they do. Unfortunately for me, We may not be youth man at this country. I don't lead this country. When the president they talk, they ask me if I'm a member. I don't know. Now you know the member say, me the member. I don't sabi you from MPRC. They ask me for the member. We don't lead this country. As a young man, the decision we have been make that Sunday, now make we get peace today. I see some wait man and they jump, they say that democracy. We've been get war now, they not been calm. If we get peace now today, na meet him up before that one day. They all left we will not know that one day. The so-called Western countries, they left we for fry. Now me, as you mean I be youth man? Now me grab, I say for this and they say no they na fake una the fake una one day in power. Where I say Bintu Mani too, they say one for stay in power. I keep me word. Now that make not to maybe finish the peace process. But now me go find Sanko and pull on a bush and put on down. But because I be done saying that 3 months no more go in here for, I still keep me word and not sit down for talk peace with them. I say I go hand over because I not be one go beyond my own word where I don't say. We all know where APC be don't squander democracy in this country. Now be one party, you know, so we vote say we tire. Gonna one person they vote for. Now one party. Now being we take and where I say we now God give you the strength that same day and the sense and the mind for come pull there and bring democracy. The democracy, 30 days, not like them. They only elect them, we then get elected. If you not elect them, they don't like them. Now the same attitude and the show today. The same commission will be declared them winners. The same process will then be used for declare them winners. They say that process they wrong this time. They go join some foolish people them for country we say we for change the system. We for go against our own constitution. Not to me they conduct election. Not to me they describe the processes by which election they go on. Tabulation, tallying, this process and that process. All day. Now think the way they write. We all don't be part of that process. If you been say that process they wrong, before election, they say, no, me no like and so. Not the way election happen now, they say, you have been part of the process. They say, no, not to say for they. According to we, then when they go join people there for Hamburg in this country, the same thing. The same attitude, no more we don't see. If fine for me salon people, they know say, some people not good for this country. Some party not good for this country. And we for talk as how we see them. And then they join other people there. Waiting make out of 192 countries, 188 vote for Mekugona now the United Nations Security Council. Now, out of respect, out of what they don't see where would they do inside Salon in the past 5 years. Now that make 192, now 188 vote for we. They say the United Nations Security Council, when we talk about the United Nations, now the most powerful organ, you get the permanent members, you get the non-permanent members. We they go as a non-permanent member. Sierra Leone. That they should say, in the past 5 years, we don't make the international world, other countries, they don't respect we. They say, when they govern, fine. Then they take money, then give we. Where COVID day, COVID killed about 7 million people around the world. The number we die now not reach 200. Where Ebola been come? Now 3,000 more, no so? Then they eat the money and tap that, no so? Where Salon people, some people, they're not a member. Now I make a say they're not the vote for themselves. You get government where they take care of you, take care of your picking there. If they do all of this, it make you get respect. When time come, not vote for Marabio, not vote for SLPP. Vote for the respect where you want to get. Vote for you picking the way they go school, and then get for come better you. The people they now still symbol, then they watch, then they vote for that one day. At the bad side and the way you on this side, they say, now you know the papa for all. And me, from the time we are young, God give me that blessing for Tima before now. I owe in that responsibility. If I not talk waiting correct, God go say, you not been doing me work fine. I put you in charge of them one day. You not correct them. Waiting me see correct, I go talk them. If you like them, you take them. If you not like them, you not take them. But just like the imam there, where then they give kutuba. Not for me, all man take them. So man, they see where come on and do it begin cost the imam. But I for talk them. This country we able to make them. We able to catch up with the rest of the world and make a tell winner. Not to other person get for make a move. Anybody where they come, I like na money come with, you know what they get out of that money. The way we don't go overseas, we don't live with them, we don't go school with them. We know the world. We don't come back. Nobody know they make you country. Now you they make them. If you follow them, you know they ever go before. In these 5 short years, when I see how we don't move the education business, to the point where United Nations want for talk about education, they say when I go salon. To the point where they want to talk about maternal mortality rate reduction in the world, they say salon now the only country will reduce maternal mortality by 60% in 5 years. That's not a small achievement where you know what's in the happen around the world. So we will be proud. Say, by all the plabber, by all the trouble within the world, we provide is an enclave where we able to achieve of peace, where we able to achieve plenty things there. What a country need dream of oneself. The British Minister for Africa, he can one day, when they present them with the list of things that we don't do, when himself go around, he said, I'm not going to talk nothing. He said, because me not be say, nah, in 4 years, because less than 5 years, you don't able to do all of them in there. Inside your country. So when you get some individuals, the way they try for create that, which is because of personal, sometimes monetary reasons, then you get for smart up, you get for wise up, and do the right thing for your own country. Nobody not going for come make here. So I want peace for the union. Again, through the Honorable Vice President and the Chief Minister, we go work for see what you can able to do for Hepuna. What you go able to do for Hepuna. Because now that na government in your work, we for help everybody. We not able to do everything we want, but we able to do then thing that we will not say go build on for make sure say we not feel part. Make we stakeholders in the governance of this country. So thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to the executive. Thank you to the union for we will not take on our time today for can congratulate me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, more clap for the president. More clap for the national chief driver. Aha. What about sit down? Your Excellency and Mr. Minister, wake up with the driver them. Now, so we go end this particular congratulatory.
Sierra Leone, or Salone, is a country with a rich, intriguing, and sometimes tragic history. Although the name Sierra Leone may invoke memories of its recent struggles, such as the civil war at the end of the 20th century and the recent Ebola epidemic, there are other important episodes in this country's history that have shaped the way it is today. Like many other African nations, slavery and colonization unfortunately play a key role in Sierra Leonean history. However, strives for freedom and the development of a diverse society are also integral to the story of Sierra Leone's past. So, without further ado, here is a brief history of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a country in West Africa, with Guinea bordering to the north and Liberia to the south. Little is known of early Sierra Leonean history due to limited archaeological data. However, what is clear is that the area of land we now call Sierra Leone has been inhabited for perhaps 3,000 years or more. For years, this land remained relatively sheltered from the outside world. In this time, a number of tribal cultures had developed, such as the Shebro, Limba, Loko, and Temne, all of whom remain living in Sierra Leone today. Nevertheless, such isolation from the outside world would begin to change. In the 1400s, the Portuguese were prominent global explorers and had made various interactions with people up and down the West African coast. Indeed, the origins of the name Sierra Leone can be traced back to the Portuguese, as it supposedly hails from 1462, when Portuguese sailor Pedro da Sintra was exploring the western peninsula of Sierra Leone. Upon seeing the area, he named it Serra Leoa, which can be translated to Lion Mountains in English. Although the reasoning for the naming is debated, it is theorized that the thunderstorms that occurred on the Sierra Leonean coast sounded like the roar of a lion to the Portuguese sailors. An alternative theory is that the land formations of the mountainous western area resembled a lion. Serra Leoa provides the origins for the name Sierra Leone, which is an evolution from the original label. Outside influence also came in the shape of the Mane invasions in the mid-1500s. The Mane people hailed from the Malian Empire and were led by Queen Masariko. Due to their military organisation and superior weaponry, they were able to conquer large swathes of modern-day Sierra Leone by 1555, notably the coastal regions. Nevertheless, these invasions are hugely culturally significant to the makeup of modern-day Sierra Leone. For example, the Mende people, who account for roughly 30% of Sierra Leone's population, have been greatly linguistically and culturally influenced by the Mane. Gradually, over time, the Mane assimilated into the population of the existing tribal structure in the region. Throughout this period, Islam also began to gain more influence in the area, with Muslim missionaries, traders, and teachers from the East peacefully spreading the religion. Due to this, Islam remains the largest religion in Sierra Leone today, accounting for about 78% of the population. Despite the earliest European interactions in the area coming from the Portuguese, the Western power that has had by far the greatest impact on Sierra Leonean history is Britain. Although the British traded with the indigenous peoples for other goods, Britain's main interest was the trading of slaves. The capturing of slaves in Sierra Leone can be traced back to the Elizabethan era and further, where notable English privateers such as John Hawkins and Francis Drake captured slaves from Sierra Leone. Between the 1500s and 1800, the taking of slaves flourished, with the British and other European powers acquiring people through either capture or trade with local tribes. Despite being tough to quantify, it is estimated that over 12 million slaves were taken from West Africa to the Americas, and as Sierra Leone was one of the main areas in which European powers sought slaves from, it is safe to assume that a significant proportion of those slaves came from Sierra Leone. Remnants of the heavy impact that the slave trade had on Sierra Leone can still be seen today in the form of the fort at Bunce Island built in the 1670s. For example, it is estimated that 50,000 slaves were transported out of Bunce Island Fort alone. Slavery as an institution would have a profound effect on West Africa and Sierra Leone especially. Many in the region suffered and died as a result of the slave trade. However, the western area of Sierra Leone would soon become a place in which freed slaves from various places in the Americas and Britain would return. With increasing abolitionist sentiment in England, the attention of prominent abolitionists such as Granville Sharp turned to the resettling of former slaves in Africa. In 1787, the first attempt to establish a colony for freed slaves in the western area came in the form of the establishment of Granville Town, named after Sharp. However, this first resettlement failed due to poor conditions and hostility from local sub-chiefs, amongst other factors. A successful colony would later be set up in 1791 by the British-formed Sierra Leone Company. The occupants of this colony were some people left over from the failed Granville Town settlement and freed slaves from Nova Scotia, many of whom had fought in order to earn their freedom in the American War of Independence. Over 1,000 freed slaves travelled from Nova Scotia and named their new settlement Freetown, the modern-day capital, to emblemise their freedom and new life. The settlement did encounter troubles in its earlier years, in the form of internal divisions between the Sierra Leone Company and the settlers. However, the numbers in the colony were bolstered by the Maroons in 1800, who had fought for their freedom from slavery in Jamaica. The culture of the Maroons can still be seen in Sierra Leone to this day in the form of St. John's Maroon Church in Freetown. In 1808, the British state took full control of the western area, establishing the British Crown Colony of Sierra Leone. After the abolition of the slave trade in the British Empire in 1807, the population of Freetown was gradually added to through the repatriation of people taken from captured slave ships. This contributed to the population of the colony increasing to 40,000 in 1840. The freed slave inhabitants of the western area would go on to be called Creoles, whose culture is reflected by both their African ancestry and their experiences with slavery. The relative early success of Freetown Colony led to the establishment of institutions such as Fora Bay College in 1827, the oldest university in West Africa. Despite British control of the western area during this period, their influence over the rest of the region that covers modern-day Sierra Leone remained relatively limited at the beginning of the 19th century. However, this would gradually begin to change, with the British exerting further influence into the rest of the area through force and treating with local tribes. It is worth noting that although the slave trade in the British Empire was abolished, illegal slave trading off the Sierra Leonean coast continued long after 1807. Perhaps one of the most notable stories stemming from this continued slavery is that of the revolt on La Amistad, one of the most prominent slave revolts in global history. In 1839, Mende, who were captured from Sierra Leone, revolted against their Spanish captors on board La Amistad and took control of the ship. After their successful revolt, the Sierra Leoneans chose to leave a few of the Spanish shipmasters alive with the intention to navigate back to Africa. However, they were tricked by the Spanish, who directed them towards the United States, where they eventually landed in Long Island, New York. The Mende captives were subsequently jailed in New Haven, Connecticut, and a diplomatic and legal battle ensued surrounding the situation of the Sierra Leoneans, focusing on whether they were free men and women or property of the Spanish. After taking their case to the United States Supreme Court, the Mende won their freedom and were able to return to their lives in Africa. Sengbe Pie was the instigator of the rebellion aboard the ship, which made Pie the leader of the only successful slave ship revolt where the captives returned to Africa in American history. For this reason, Sengbe Pie is one of the most revered figures in freed slave history and a symbol of global freedom to this day.